good evening, whenever you happen to be watching. My name is Rudy Ruiz. I'm your host of the Six Bugle podcast, along with my co-host, Christy Hensler. Christy, how are you?
I know. Fabulous. How's
Fabulous.
that?
That's always good. It's always good to be fabulous.
Yes. Yes.
So we're getting closer, Christy, to the
I know.
third annual Six Bugle podcast. It's just right around the corner.
Only like a couple, like 5, 6 weeks. I'm looking at the calendar, but I can't do
Yeah,
math that quick.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
something like that.
close. So,
And and then a first time ever for Wisconsin, over
mhm.
at La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is a beautiful site over by the river. That's going to come out a couple weeks after, so that's just around the corner too.
Yes.
Before you know it, we'll be there, right?
Yes. Wisconsin's going to be beautiful that time of year too.
Yeah, yeah, and we have the riverboat cruise that we're going to be that has a part of the conference, so that's going to be exciting,
Nice.
and we are really looking forward to it. It's the registrations are neck and neck, so they're
All right.
about to
I was
change.
going to ask you. Okay. This
Yeah,
I'm just finding this out live like you guys are. So, Ohio was behind, so they
they
catching up.
were. They were,
Okay.
and they're starting to catch up now. So
All right.
probably has something to do with the early bird special going away on August 1st. So we want to make sure you get your registration in before August 1st and save $50, and that way you don't have to worry about that. But we're looking forward to it. We want you to be a part of this. We have some great speakers for both sessions, and we are really looking forward to it. So, but before we go into that, Chrissy, you wanted to talk about something today. What did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about self-care because I needed this reminder myself in the last week or two. And so I know you all need this reminder too, because a lot of times, as eh, we don't, especially in the field that you're in, you're so used to helping everybody else that sometimes we don't stop and we don't take care of ourselves. And we think, I don't have time to take care of myself, or I'll take care of myself after I do take care of this person, this and this and this. And then it just, something else comes up and it never happens. And so it's so important. We all know the saying, when you're in an airplane, what do they tell you when they make you listen to all those boring instructions that nobody pays attention to at the beginning? When the oxygen mask falls, you have to put it on yourself first, or you can't help somebody else. And in that case of that emergency, that would be really true. You would die before you could help somebody else. But it's the same way in real life. And I love this quote that I have actually I'm looking at a chapter in my life hacks book. Self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. And I think a lot of times we think self-care is selfish, so we just have to keep giving. But what I find in my own life is when I'm not taking care of myself, I'm really not doing the people around me a service, because I get cranky, I get short, I get, more demanding. I get, I'm not the best person to be around when I'm not already taking care of myself. But when I fill my own cup first and then go help, I'm a much better version of myself. And I think sometimes we need to reframe that, because I saw a visual the other day, and it was perfect. The one had it had 3 martini cups, and the 2 were full on the end, and the one in the middle was empty. And that's a lot of times how we try to keep pouring out, and we're sitting there empty. But really, what it should be is 2 half full martini cups at the bottom, and the full one on top just overflowing into the bottom cups.
Yeah,
And that's the healthy version of self-care, is when we are taking care of ourselves, we're in our best position to help other people. And then we're overflowing into other people with our time, our talent, our energy. It's the same way in your personal or professional life. And so
right,
this, it serves as your reminder as well as mine to stop and take care of yourself. And that doesn't have to, and that's different for every person, and maybe there's an area of your life. I would ask yourself, is there an area of my life that needs more attention right now? Like my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health. Like, what part of your area is lacking the most right now and that you need to fill your tank in? And then what do you need to do in that area to fill your tank in? Those are the questions that I would ask to, because sometimes when you get yourself to the point where you're just like overwhelmed and just zapped, you kind of don't even know what you want or need sometimes. And so you have to ask yourself almost a very specific self-coaching question to kind of get yourself to answer it.
sure. And I'm reminded of my wife Martha. She's always been a giver all her life
Hmm.
as a nurse and a charge nurse, and then a cardiac diagnostic nurse. And she still, even after retirement, she still wants to fill other people's cup. And I have to remind her that you need to take care of yourself. You need to get your
Yes.
sleep. You need to, and she loves gardening. She loves being outside. So I tell her, just enjoy being out there, and I'm trying to be out there with her, especially this year now, because I realize the value of sunshine and being connected to the earth. And I was never really an outdoors kind of guy, but
I
but
figured.
but just to be with her first and foremost is important. But second, I'm taking care of myself too,
Mhm.
even by just being there for her. So that kind of gives me joy. So yes,
Yes.
absolutely, especially with your partner,
Mhm.
let them know, hey, this is so that I can keep giving and maintain a certain level of health, and they would perfectly understand, I'm sure, and if they could be a part of it, that's even better because the having
Yes.
connection is always going to be fulfilling as the years go by, and you find yourself that where you can kind of feed off of each other, so that's always going to bring value
Mhm.
too. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you don't we have finite resources, and we use those up when we're doing whether it's work or a task or even something fun, a vacation. We're still using those resources up. They're depleting, our energy, and we have to stop and refill those. We're not invincible. I've learned that myself this year. You can't just keep going, 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 going and never stopping to fill your tank. You have to take time and do something for yourself. And it can look different. My version of self-care is totally different than Matt's, like, and
Sure.
what brings me joy and fills my tank is totally different, like Rudy was saying with the gardening, and so find what works for you and do it. It does not need to look like anybody
Right.
else's
Right.
version.
Right. And just appreciate your partner's version of
Mhm.
self-care and let them know that you support them and you're with them. And you don't necessarily have to join them in what they're doing, but
Right.
understand that the reason why they're doing it is because they need to have that fulfillment in life, and then get back to working together, being together, and helping other people together because that can bring you joy too.
Yes. So
All right.
self-care is not selfish. So don't you take care of yourself or you won't be able to take care of anybody else. So
I like that martini glass analogy where the cup
yes.
is full and you're filling, you see that all the time at weddings where the top one's
Yeah.
empty, fill the other one.
Yes.
But to say me and everyone else,
Yes.
you know, that's
Yes.
that's the analogy you want to have in your mind when you think
Mhm.
about that. So yeah,
For
good
sure.
point. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you, Christy, for that. We certainly do appreciate it. Always looking out for you in the administrative assistance world, and we want to keep adding value to you, keep bringing more and more information so that you can take care of yourself, because we know that your responsibilities that you have can be overwhelming sometimes, and we want to make sure you take care of yourself so you can have a fruitful and enjoyable life, a long life, long after retirement, right?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this week's podcast. We certainly do appreciate it. Remember the conferences in Ohio, September 4th, 5th, and 6th, and in Wisconsin, September 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're looking forward to it. We have some great speakers lined up. We're going to put out that list of speakers here very shortly, and you'll get a chance to look at that. And hopefully, we'll see you out there. So, that being said, take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.